Welcome back. Well, today is more of an informational video. I recently discovered that my 14-year-old Browning Maxus with its Dura-Touch stock had begun to get a little bit sticky. The stock is, it feels unpleasant. Certainly not something I want to go afield with. I think it actually would, it's tacky enough it would actually collect dust and debris and really make a mess of it. It's, the feel that it has is very much like undried varnish or urethane. So anyway, very unpleasant. I suspect that the reason why you're watching this is perhaps because you're having the same issue with a Browning shotgun or rifle. You know, they put the Dura-Touch stock finish on quite a number of, probably thousands and thousands of firearms of different kinds through the years, and I understand that it's a universal problem, and it also affects other companies that use that same process. Dura-Touch is it's a product which they have contracted out, from what I understand, but it's deteriorating, and it comes in different forms. It can be tacky like this. It can be really sticky, and sometimes it gets so that it actually is coming off, oozing off. Blistering and peeling also can affect these finishes. So anyway, it is a universal problem that Browning is now addressing. It looks like they've been addressing it for at least 3 or 4 years, and I'm sure that they have the turnaround down as quick as they possibly can now. I'm sure they've ironed out all the wrinkles in the system to get these guns back in customers' hands. The process is pretty simple. You simply go to the Browning, just Google Browning Dura-Touch, Dura-Touch, and it'll pop up with their web page, and you'll get a page. It kind of looks like a blog page at first, but it's not. It'll give you a place where you put in your firearm serial number, your name, your address, and just briefly describe. I just simply said that the buttstock and the forend have become tacky and unpleasant to handle, and then there's a checkbox that you acknowledge that you've read the conditions and everything, and which are pretty simple. And also there's a checkbox to acknowledge that you'd like to have a shipping label. The shipping label came to me immediately in my email address, and I printed it out on some sticky labeling paper, and I'll be shipping it back. Now, what I certainly recommend, and what they absolutely make clear is that you cannot remove the stock from the gun. In other words, don't send just the stock in. They want the entire gun shipped back to them as is, with no additional, with no additional aftermarket accessories on it, because they're not going to be responsible for those. So if you have any aftermarket chokes or anything like that, or aftermarket magazines for your rifle and everything, if you do have the original magazine that's in the rifle, they want the original magazine with the rifle when it comes back. So basically, the way you got it, it should go back to them. And one thing that I recommend that you do not do, I've been around firearms manufacturers enough to know that the pretty box that you got when you purchase your firearm, if you're one of these people like me who always keeps the boxes with the appropriate serial numbered label on it and everything, so that come the day that you need to sell the gun, the new owner has the original box. If you have the original box, I would not recommend shipping it back with the gun. Receiving and shipping departments, really, this is a product packaging that they pack the original gun with. They really don't care about whether maybe they do, but most companies really do not care about keeping the gun with the product as it goes back through the factory. In other words, it's going to be, they don't have these boxes placed to store all these boxes as they go back through the factory. and they're not going to be looking to reunite your shotgun or your rifle with the original box. They're going to ship it back to you in a generic shipping box. So if you prize the shipping box that originally, packing box that originally came in, I would not recommend sending it back. You're going to have to sleeve it anyway. You can't ship this back as is. So you're going to have to sleeve it, and if you're going to sleeve it, you might as well just wrap the gun up securely in bubble wrap, and then pad it really good with, you can pad it or even wrap it with newspaper, whatever it is, but wrap it up nice and secure so it doesn't flop around inside the box and get damaged, and ship it back to them. I understand the turnaround time can be anywhere from just a few weeks to several months. Like I say, I presume that this process is going along a little bit more smoothly now that it's been going for several years. So I would suspect that it's probably a little bit quicker than it was originally. The options are all theirs. When they receive the gun and they're going to do an inspection, somebody's going to inspect that gun to be very sure that it is in fact a deteriorating stock. They make it very clear, do not be sending a stock back that is not deteriorated in any way, because they're going to ship it right back to you. So you're going to be waiting for a gun that's not going to be serviced. It's not something we could preempt a suspected condition that may occur. If your gun is tacky, sticky, slimy, or whatever it is, if it's running down the street, whatever it is, then they'll fix it. But make sure that your gun is in that situation, so you don't send it back and waste your time. So their options are very simple. They can repair the stock as is. They can replace the stock. Lacking any replacement parts, they can actually replace the entire firearm with a gun of equal or greater value. So you're not going to get something back of lesser value. I personally do not recommend, I mean, it's up to you, it's your gun, your product. I certainly don't, I would not be a person who would take it down to my local shop and have them strip it off and then dip it in some sort of proprietary mixture. Because, you're talking about a firearm which loses its value when it no longer has a factory applied finish. No matter what kind of gun it is, whether it's a woodstock gun or whatever, when it doesn't have the factory applied finish, and that includes those guns which are, retrofitted with a new finish, you're going to be losing the value of the gun. So I recommend that you take the time to send it back. They pay for the shipping label, and in my case, they sent me a UPS shipping label. Some people may get a FedEx shipping label. I don't know, but. That's the story. All you have to do is just print out that label, affix it to the box, make sure it's packed up real good, ship it back to them, and wait your turn, and you'll get back a gun which I'm very sure you'll be happy with. I'm old enough to remember when Browning had the salt stock. This is probably a bad dream for them. They had a salt wood stock issue where gun stocks back in the early mid to late 60s, especially T-22s and a few other guns, they had applied a finish over wood that had been brined in salt water, some sort of salt solution, and it resulted in, I saw the mess. It occurred with a T-22 that I'm aware of. The entire buttstock just blistered off. It looked like it was fried chicken. It was awful. So they went through millions of dollars, replacing those stocks back way back when. So I'm sure this is probably affecting them in that same regard. It's a thing that every company has to take certain things on the chin every now and then, and I'm sure that they had no reason to suspect that this material was going to deteriorate years down the road. That's one of the risky business when you get into new exotic finishes on anything. Whether it's furniture or it could be any sort of problem that's simply not anticipated. So that's it. I wish to thank all my Patreon supporters, my donors. You're fantastic. It's helping me. It's helped me get by in these tough times. things are looking up, I guess. Really, things are looking way up. But thank you for your support. Give me that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, too. Don't forget to do that. It's very important. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps me out. Thanks for watching. God bless.